And here comes everybody. Good morning, people, as we have people rolling in from the waiting room or the lobby, etc. We'll keep admitting everyone in. We will give it 2 minutes and then we will start the proceedings for this morning. I'm assuming that people are coming from the open or the welcome this morning. So thank you for all of those who joined at 9 o'clock. Give it 1 more minute. All right, look, I'll keep admitting people into the room as things progress, but we will make a start because time is of the essence today, and in the workshops, particularly the 60 minutes that we have for this will absolutely disappear very, very quickly. So I will make some introductions and just a little bit of housekeeping as well, and then hand over to the presenters for this morning. So welcome to this workshop for CSEdX2025. Today's workshop is titled Info and AI Literacies Bootcamp from Prompt to Practice. And the presenters for today are Rebecca Fabry and Lorraine Rose and Kelly Shaw from both DLS and DLT respectively, and myself as well. So we welcome you all. I'll let more formal welcomes, etc., be handled by Beck and team, and I'll get back to managing the intake. So good morning and have a great workshop, everybody. Thanks, Beck.
Thanks, Lachlan. I'd just like to start with an acknowledgement of country. I acknowledge that I am coming to you from the lands of the Wiradjuri in this virtual space. I also acknowledge the traditional custodian of the various lands on which you all are joining from today. And I'd like to encourage everyone to please share the nation that you are joining from today in the chat. And I pay my respect to elders, past and present, and extend that respect to celebrate the rich cultural diversity of all First Nations people here today. Okay, let's just start off with a quick intro and some instructions. So welcome everyone and thanks for joining us today. So today we're going hands-on with AI as part of the information landscape, and we'll role play as students to see how adding AI elements to assessment tasks might work in practice. These tools aren't extras anymore. They're built into places and platforms where students already search and write, from discovery layers and research assistants to screening and synthesis in literature reviews. Our aim today is to explore how assessment tasks can help students understand where AI fits, its strengths and limits, and how to use it responsibly and transparently in subject-appropriate ways that uphold academic integrity. So just a quick overview of today's workshop. Across 3 short rounds, you'll stay in the same color-coded breakout group. Each group has an assessment type task and a guiding key inquiry question. Choose your own adventure is round 1. So here as a group, you'll do a quick unguided search using a general large language model of your choice. So that's just a general chat-based AI tool like Copilot or ChatGPT. And you'll use that tool to explore the task you have. Dealer's choice is round 2. This is where, as a group, you'll follow a guided activity with a specific AI tool and supplied prompts. And make your masterpiece is round 3. This is where your group will now complete a brief AI use declaration, and then we'll come back for a whole group debrief. Throughout, we recommend practicing the habits we want students to show in authentic assessments. So record your tools and prompts, verify claims, cite what you keep, and make AI use visible and transparent. Ground rules for AI tool use today: of course, don't share any sensitive data, verify key claims, and consider bias and currency. By the end, you'll have a small artifact, a reusable disclosure template, and concrete ideas for integrating AI into transparent, learning progressing assessment. We're hoping that as we move into new spaces with authenticating assessments, that the tools and activities we're using today will give you some food for thought. Now I'm going to hand over to Lorraine, who's going to take us through some more detailed instructions around how round one will work. Thanks, Lorraine.
Thanks, Beck. So today we're using Padlets to communicate. These have sections for each breakout room and show your room's allocated assessment task, the inquiry question you'll be investigating, and other instructions. Plus, there'll be a place in the Padlet for you to write your comments, upload your artifacts, and ask any questions. Once you jump into the Padlet, the link will be in the chat very shortly. The section title will show your room number and task type. Now, each room section is color coded, so remember your color code today for ease in finding all your resources. Now, there is a Padlet for round one, and there will be a second Padlet for rounds 2 and 3. Between each round, we'll be returning to this main room for a quick debrief. Just note that the breakout rooms will close automatically and you'll return back here. So there's no need to click leave, as you'll leave the workshop completely, and we don't want that. So in this round, each room will need 3 assigned roles. There'll be the doer or the screen sharer, and this will drive the Gen AI search. There will also need to be a note taker who will record the key prompts, outputs, and decisions in the Padlet, and a speaker who will prepare a brief summary of your process and reflections. Note that there's a 4th role here, the verifier. This person isn't needed until rounds 2 and 3. I'll just jump into the Padlet quickly just so you can see what it looks like. So you can see that each room is a separate colour. We have our assessment task for each room and the key inquiry question. You can also click the PDF here and that brings up the PDF which just goes over the scenario and your round one task description. And you can write comments by clicking the comments section here. Plus, if I scroll down to the bottom of the Padlet, there's a section here to ask any questions, and you can just click that plus to ask questions. So let's start round one now. Is the link to the Padlet in the chat?
It will be there in one moment. The breakout rooms are assigned, and we'll drop the Padlet straight into the chat now for everybody.
Yep, so grab that before you go into your breakout rooms. For round one, you'll be given 7 minutes to look at your assessment question and task, and then have that initial search to explore your inquiry question. Remember, at this stage, you're just using a general chat-based large language model, such as Copilot or ChatGPT, anything that you want to use. Great, if everyone can grab that Padlet, because that's got all the instructions in it.
I'll broadcast it as well, Lorraine, in a second once the group's launched so that they still have it.
Excellent. Well, good luck. We'll see you back here.
Here we go. Okay, looks like you two aren't in breakout rooms. I'll just assign you if you haven't. Oh no, you've been assigned as well. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so sorry. Looks like, is this the right place?
Yeah, you're in the right spot. It looks like you're not in a breakout room, the group that people are in them. I'll just put you in one. 1 second.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you're in room 2, so you should be able to go into...
Right, so oh, yeah, sure.
There's still people coming in. Let's keep doing that. Okay, Linda, why are you not in a breakout room? Let me...
I've only just got here. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. I'll put you in one.
Thank you. What am I doing in the breakout room?
They've got the instructions in there.
Okay.
They've got roles and things allocated there. So let's get the two unassigned. Where are you?
I don't know.
Linda.
I honestly don't.
And let's put you in there. And Simon as well. Everything going okay, Lorraine?
Kel and I were in the same room, so I tried to get out and go in another room, but if I join rooms, it just sends me to the same one.
Oh, okay. You should be able to join each of them.
Yeah, and also when I leave the whole thing.
Okay, so I'll just put Simon in one of the rooms.
Yep.
Now, which room would you like to go in?
Any, but well, one. I don't know what Beck's in. Not 5. Not 5. I was in 5.
Okay, I'll put you into 3.
Cool.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Taking you in there, or do you need to enter it? There you go.
I didn't have the option to leave the room. I only had the option to leave the
I'll put you into 4. Looks like it's wanting me to manually reassign. I don't know what that's about. It'll take you in just a second, but we're going to close the rooms quickly.
No, we don't.
Oh. I like it.
I'm glad to hear the laughter. I imagine that was pure chaos for a lot of people.
Yes.
We'll just wait for everyone to rejoin us and then we'll delve into that just a little. All right. If it makes you feel better, it was also fairly chaotic for the presenters and myself as well. So in this endeavour to use Teams for the activity, it's not without its speed humps. All right, so look, welcome back from round one. First shot at going into breakouts, splitting people into groups, allocating roles, figuring out colours, focus questions, tools, and then actually doing something with it. I don't think we actually really gave you enough to try and do in the period of time that was there. Maybe we'll try and figure out some more things to add to that for round two. I have, I guess, a recap question that I'd like to put to whoever the speaker nominated in each group was very, very briefly. And the recap that we have between the breakouts in each round is going to be very, very brief. And the question is, firstly, can you tell us what the question was for your group? And also we're interested in the tool that you chose to use for that. And we need it basically in a very, very sort of one sentence or less format. So group one, can I get your speaker to come off mute and tell us what it was that you were pursuing?
We didn't choose a speaker, but I'd be happy to do it.
Brilliant.
Sorry. Our question was, does AI assistive formative feedback improve tertiary students' academic writing quality? And we had just made a group decision to try the CSU Copilot version.
Okay. Yep. So you're going to use Copilot for it. Did you put any of the focus question into a prompt for Copilot yet, or are you still getting to that point?
I just did, Joe. I'm happy to take over if you like.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Lachlan, we did run out of time, but we used Copilot and we were just writing a prompt to ask Copilot to help us with a prompt to answer that question, to help us sort of streamline our prompt. So I've just done that while we were waiting, but the rest of the group didn't get to see the response. So I might just pop that in the chat for the group one to see. It's all right.
Okay, great. The other thing I'll draw your attention to is that the Padlet boards that we're using have a section right down the bottom of them that allow you to attach any output. So if you're generating a result of any sort, you're more than welcome to attach it in there for people to look at later on. Group two, which tool were you using and what was the topic, etc.?
Is that blue? Group 2 blue?
Should be in the label. I'll have a look in the breakout.
Yes, group 2 is blue.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, sorry. So we used Copilot and our question was, how can instructors create belonging and engagement in online classrooms? So we first put that in as just as that and to see what would come up. And then we got
into Copilot?
Into Copilot.
Yep, okay, yep.
And we got 5 points from that. Then we asked it to develop an essay with references and in-text citations around those 5 points.
Okay, that's pretty good. In the time limit that we had available, that you got to getting a prompt in there into the tool and getting some initial output, which is great. When you get exposed to the more specialist tools that will end up being introduced shortly, I guess you'll be asked to think about a comparison between how effective the first and the second was, but we're getting to that. So thank you for sharing that. Group 3?
We didn't decide a speaker either, but I'm happy to speak. We at least decided our discipline. Our question was, what does culturally safe and decolonising practice look like in your discipline? And we had someone from dentistry, so we chose dentistry. But I don't know what Susan, what did you put that question in directly into ChatGPT, didn't you?
No, I used the university's Copilot.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, and the lady in dentistry is the best one to speak about it because we were looking at the various points that came out that were indeed correct and well informed by someone who knew the discipline itself. So we can actually hand it over to that lady. I can't remember her name because I didn't have time to remember.
I'm here. Yeah, it gave us some topics to consider. Some of them weren't specific to the question, but it gave us some key topics, and together with some references and websites it came through. But then I didn't have much time to look more with details into it.
Absolutely. Okay, so it's going to take some refinement from that point, obviously, to dive a little deeper. Can we hear from Group 4, please?
Sure you can. We're a student team and we're creating an infographic on what evidence demonstrates that AI enhanced learning can improve student outcomes while maintaining academic integrity. So we put that question into Copilot and we created an infographic that's on the Padlet for everyone to see if they choose to. And then we went, oh, well, we probably should have had the peer-reviewed evidence first. So we popped the prompt in to give us 2 to 3 peer-reviewed sources on the topic, and that's where we ended our session. But we are hoping that the ability of AI gives you the ability to go backwards, take a step back. We probably should have done that first before we developed the infographic. So we'll see where this adventure that we're creating takes us.
Brilliant. So we had an infographic at that point. We've had essays mentioned and other types of research activities, etc. Can we hear from Group 5, please? What was the assessment type that you were looking at, and which tool did you use for yours? How did you find it?
I don't know that we selected a speaker, did we? But I'm happy to speak on behalf of the group if that's okay. The key inquiry question was, what low effort, high impact universal design for learning, so a UDL, strategies can be implemented to improve accessibility and learning and teaching. So we just, I was able to get the free version of ChatGPT up first. So I just pasted the question into ChatGPT and it came up with 5, I beg your pardon, it came up with 5 options, which I've pasted into the group chat for this whole meeting, as well as the comments beside the red thing.
In the Padlet board, yep.
In Padlet, in the comments, because I didn't know where you wanted me to put it.
No, that's perfect. Using the Padlet boards and your sections in Padlet for to drop any of that sort of content is perfect. Look, I know the clock is ticking against us, so I'm going to hand back to Lorraine to introduce round 2 so we can start diving into more purpose-built tools. Thanks, Lorraine.
Okay, so we've just recovered from round 1 and straight into round 2. In a moment, you're going to return to those breakout rooms and there'll be a new Padlet link. And again, we'll pop that Padlet link in the chat. It's for round 2 and 3. We'll use this second Padlet link. This time, each group has a specific AI tool or tools to explore. And if I just jump into the Padlet now so you can have a look what it looks like, the second Padlet. So in this second Padlet, there's a link to the tool that you've been allocated to explore. And then there's specific instructions to work through as well. And then you can upload any outputs to the Padlet as you go. And also feel free to open up these PDFs to review any of the instructions that are linked to your group area. And also there's a PDF here of reflection questions, so things you might want to think of as you're using these tools as well. So same roles as last time, but there's a 4th role to think about this time, the role of the verifier. They're going to be noting down any steps taken, tools used, and prompts that will eventually be added to the AI declaration tool, which is part of round 3. And if you want to have a look at that, you can jump into that Google Docs there. Okay, so instructions are all there in the Padlet. In the second Padlet, make sure you grab the next link. You have 15 minutes this time to complete as much as possible. There's a lot there. We know it's, we're having to move quickly, but have fun, good luck, and we'll see you back here in 15 minutes.
Okay, people being moved in now. I'm just going to assign anyone unassigned. Jared, okay. Let's find you, assign. Jared, there he is. Let's put you into group 4. There we go. Hey, Jared, should take you in now. There we go. Alan and Patience, why is it not taking you into your breakout rooms?
I don't know, Lachlan. I think it for some reason I was removed from the meeting and then now I'm back.
Oh, that's okay. I'll move you into another one. That's fine.
Thank you. I'm
Hi,
in the blue one.
Lachlan. Oh, sorry, I just got booted out. I don't know.
Which group were you in?
I was in group 1.
Okay, no worries.
I'm in
Patience,
the
it'll
blue
take you in
team.
now. I might have had to change your rooms to get it to work. That's okay. Hang on. Okay, now we change Michelle to... Which group were you in, Michelle?
The purple group, room 1.
Room 1. Okay, it'll take you back in.
All right, thank you.
No worries. It is a bit slow, this thing. You back, Lorraine?
Yeah, I've just come back here. That group I was in seemed to be under control, which was good.
Can I assign you to another one?
Yes.
Which one would you like to be in?
I don't know. Oh, here's Beck. I'll ask what she's been in.
Yeah, I was just in the one with Primo AI Research Assistant and Gemini. So that is the green group.
Okay,
Room
so
4 I was in, and
I was in yellow, room 3.
All right, I'm shifting one of you to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one I'll move to group 4. Change. No, you were in 4. Oh,
yeah,
no. So
I was
I'll
just in
change.
4.
I'll change you to 1, maybe.
Yeah, cool.
Chaos. Chaos.
Well, you're doing a great job. Yes. People are having fun though. They're kind of laughing and.
Oh, that's good. They bear with it. So this will finish. Yeah, you're gone. Yeah. Back, Lorraine?
Yeah. Do you want to send me to room 1? I don't think anyone's
I was
been
just
there.
there with
Cool.
consensus. Yeah, they're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Kel was in that one. I was just in there. Good. That was
Okay.
5. Have we been to everything then? 4.
Have we done 2?
Was someone's? I'll put you in 2, Lorraine.
Okay.
And Beck, you have dealer's choice at this point.
Oh, 3. Put me in 3. I'd be interested to see what they're doing.
And we're going.
Oh, keep going, Sonia.
Here they come. You don't really get much of a warning with Teams about being yanked out of things. There's no countdown or anything. It's just a here we go.
You? No, Zara.
It comes up a 10-second rule.
Oh, you get a countdown. That's good.
Lachlan, we
Whoop, sorry, I just muted whoever it was that was just talking to me. Come off mute.
I said we needed more coffee before we started this morning.
You and me both. I think I need one of
We
those
were all in agreement
1.5 litre kind of jobs, yeah. Look, thank you very much, everybody, for engaging in round 2. I could see from the chats going on that people were going absolutely off, as the kids would say, in their chats. A lot of contributions, questions, comments and things. So it seems like a lot of people were able to engage relatively quickly and easily with the tools that were provided. The recap for round 2 really consists with you having thought about the difference between what you were able to generate on the spot with Copilot and or GPT or whatever other tool that you used for the process into using a new tool. So what changed? How effective was it with what you're able to see? And what you can see shared on the screen at the moment is a summary for all of you that are not aware of what the other groups are doing of the tools that they are using for their respective tasks. So you could see that the purple group got exposed to Consensus if they hadn't seen that before. Room 2 was looking at Notebook LM and Claude. Room 3 got Asta. Room 4 got Gemini and Primo. And Room 5 got Primo and Canva AI. So I'd like to hear again from your speaker or whoever's happy to do that talking about that reflection question. What's changed for you with the tool that you were given for the task, and how effective did you find that? We'll try and keep that obviously fairly brief if we can. So room 1.
I'm happy to talk, but people can jump in if you like. So we basically logged into Consensus and entered our prompt, and it allowed us to link with LibKey, which is the CSU library. So I think what was effective about it in relation to our first use of Copilot was we were able to basically check the sources. So it came up with a series of sources we were able to go to check some of the content. So Sam, do you want to add anything?
Possibly not, but that's okay. I'll go ahead.
Can I add, we had to
sorry, I'm on mute. Sorry, I didn't realise I was on mute. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, you go.
No, I was just saying it was much more comprehensive. I've not used Consensus before, but so I'm just looking through the output now, but it's much more comprehensive than the prompt that we put in, the output we got from Copilot.
Brilliant. Now, I will keep in mind, of course, we don't expect everyone to have a comprehensive coverage of all the tools that everyone's playing with today, or even those in each of the specific groups. We will be providing you with takeaways and other resources at the end of the workshop. So don't feel like this is the only kind of information that you're going to get around any of these things. Thank you very much. Room 1, can we hear from room 2, please?
Yes, we had a very true to reality experience in our group, which in this particular boot camp was like everyone's doing their second round the block, and we're still trying to find our shoes and our shoelaces because we had trouble logging on. None of us had used these tools before, so it was one thing we did discover through it is just going through the process was, wow, we really need to look at how much time it takes, because we always think AI is so quick, but maybe it's not when tools are new, and the clear instructions that you need. There's always an assumption that everyone else knows what they're doing. In fact, when we all looked at each other, we were all fairly new at this. So we didn't get output. Well, we did get some output, but we haven't really had time to examine that and to report on what we have so far.
Absolutely. I get that completely. And you raise a very important point. As an empathetic exercise, you're imagining doing this with a group of students or being one of those students yourself. The information that is required for that to be done quickly and effectively obviously scales proportionately. So if it's critical that they have that kind of skill set in place, we're probably going to need to devote some time and resources to making sure people are at least have a sort of a benchmark in place for that. So yeah, that's a wonderful point.
We wouldn't have got as far as we did without Lorraine giving us a prompt either, because it was, we were still at the stage of like, what do you do with this thing? So
brilliant. So Lorraine, if you could just go and make a chatbot of yourself, please, for every assignment ever to go into every subject, that'd be great. Cheers. So room 3, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Lachlan, and everyone. So we were looking at the question of providing an overview of the cultural safe and decolonization practice in highlighting the First Nations framework. In this required listing of the sources of authors. So we copied the question as it is, and we inputted this into the ASTA, and the results were 45 papers which were highlighted, and then we decided to put in to add in a prompt to select the 10 most appropriate or relevant ones. And so this had some articles. However, we noticed that the articles that were generated, some of them were not specific to the dentistry. They were nursing and medicine articles there. However, someone joined the group and supported us to identify other the capabilities that ASTA had, which we didn't realize. The challenge is that now you have to go back to start because we are required to have selected the generate reports section to be able to have an essay format, and which we did not do that, and as a result all we had was 45 articles generated, so we had to go back and start afresh. And so we were in the process of generating a report, but we didn't get to see the report thereafter, so we were not able to verify what would have been in the report vis-a-vis what would have been expected. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for that, Patience. And I will provide a little bit of a hint regarding round 3, which Beck will take over in just a minute after we hear from room 5, but that you will get time now to look at that verification aspect of this process. It's one of the things we really want to emphasize in the workshop. So things that we know now that we didn't know at the beginning, it's a very good point. The functionality of these tools and your ability to go and have a play with them outside of this workshop, armed with a little bit more information after you've had your first initial shock, I think you'll find a whole lot more of those little hacks that you'll be able to utilize. So thank you again, Patience. And can we hear from room 5, please?
Hi, Lockie. Yep, that's me. And anybody else just butt in. I just want to say at the start, I think the biggest thing for us was just not knowing what to do, full stop. Like, we've got instructions, but if you don't understand even what the tools are, and I think that's where we were all like really struggling, like we hadn't used the Canva for this particular kind of thing. So while we were talking, I cheated and I actually did it in the space. So I managed to successfully create a slideshow, but we allocated our groups and we did verify our stuff. But like I said, people weren't not aware of the the AI assistant thing in the library, which is so cool. So unless you've like used it, so I think our time was spent working out working out like what stuff is and how to use it before we even got to the task. But we did allocate our groups and allocate our roles, and we did at least start it. So yes,
brilliant. And yes, again, the amount of scaffolding and information, etc., that people have access to beforehand, very important. And it is interesting to see obviously to what extent people can just plunge right in and find an answer and jump straight to a solution, because it's just not always going to happen. Group 4, I am very, very sorry to have skipped you. Please accept my apologies there. I'd love to hear from you now.
Thanks, Lachlan, and jump in, anybody, feel free. But it was a new platform to most of us in that breakout room, and the primo aspect of it, the research summary that it gave us was quite specific and very, I guess, through a lens of which the prompt was around the evidence to demonstrate enhanced learning can improve student outcomes while maintaining academic integrity. And we asked the question within the team, not within the AI system, but that reflection on critical analysis of, does it really, like what about the looking at it from the other way, and be an interesting prompt to give it. But Gemini then created this fantastic infographic that improved on the previous version that came out of Copilot. So, and it took moments to create it.
Brilliant. Okay. Again, conscious of time, so I'm going to hand straight over to Beck to talk about round 3. We've got one more crack at this.
Thanks, Lachlan, and thanks everybody. Thanks for engaging so far. It's really interesting to hear your reflections. So instructions for round 3. So this is the Make Your Masterpiece final round of this workshop. So in this round, you'll complete an AI use declaration based on what your group did in round 2. So this is a transparency artifact. It's an example of the kind of evidence you could embed in an assessment to show how AI was used and the processes followed. So with your group, you'll return to the round 2-3 Padlet, so the same Padlet you were using in round 2. You'll stay in your color-coded column and look for tile 5, which is titled round 3. And I think we're showing that on the screen now. So this outlines what to acknowledge or verify in the AI use declaration. Then you can open the linked Google Sheet to complete it. So as a group, you complete your tab in the color-coded table using your notes from the processes followed in round 2. So you'll note that each group or room has its own tab, color-coded again, and there's already a worked example on each tab just for some guidance. And if something wasn't used, don't worry about it, just pop NA into the column. So you maybe got about 10 minutes or less for this round. Just do as much as you can, just as much as you got through in round 2. Don't worry about completing the whole thing. But also, as you work through round 3, keep the reflection questions in mind. So we're going to discuss these in the final recap. So you can find the reflection questions in the PDF linked in tile 4 of your group's Padlet column. We might also pop them into the breakout room chat for easy reference. And then we'll reconvene for a final recap right after this round.
All right, here we go. And Christine, I'll also assign you to a room now.
Hey.
Hi, what can I put you in?
I was just in the group doing it with Asta AI2, which is
like 3, 4, something.
I was in room 3, yellow.
Okay, shall I put you in 5, maybe?
Sure. Send me to 5. Kel was in room 5, so I just left. She's got it under control.
Shall we try 1?
Yep.
We'll be finishing in very briefly. I think we've got 5 minutes for Kel to do 14 minutes worth of stuff.
Yep, that'll be super fast.
Whoops, we're done. Oh,
And
never
we're back.
mind.
So Linda,
Welcome
maybe you can
back.
talk to this one
No.
with those points. No, she says.
All right, so
That was
welcome
the
back,
only thing I
everybody.
thought.
Of course, time being what it is, we've basically almost completely used it up. I am going to hand back to Beck to do the recap questions for the end of round 3. But again, we appreciate that we've had probably a fairly rushed experience at this point.
I think
we
it's
also
me. I
provided
think
some-
I'm doing final reflection questions, Lachlan.
You're doing them? Brilliant. Okay.
Before Beck panics and goes,
Yeah,
oh no.
thanks, Kel.
Yeah, no. Go for it.
Okay, so I had the advantage of being in one of the groups, and it was really great to hear everybody's chat. So I just want to go quickly. I know we've only got a couple of minutes left, but this is our last time to share what were your experiences, what are the pitfalls, considerations, or advantages? What do you think a student would take away from this experience? And if you want to comment on what you, as an educator, if you are an educator, would take away from this experience. So you don't have to obviously address all of those things. And I'm going to go in reverse order this time. So Gareth, you were the nominated speaker for Group 5. If you'd like to kick us off, that would be great.
Cool. No surprise, like, boo, start at the end. Thanks, everybody. I think we had a good group discussion, just kind of pulling it all together. I think across the board, we all agreed that with regards to, it was a good kind of scatter approach in terms of a deep dive. We were thrown into organized chaos. Whoever was running the session knew what they were doing, and they got us to explore various tools and that we might or might not have known existed. So we take away from that experience. We've now got more of an idea of what's going on. Our takeaway from it was also that it was very overwhelming in terms of there is not enough scaffolding or chunks of instructions or kind of telling us what the expected outcomes or deliverables really were from that. I think they would kind of help drive student engagement and kind of give them a clearer path to what they need to do. Obviously, we did this in a speed dating kind of environment, so that kind of speaks to this, but I think we're all very positive that we've learned that there are tools that do very distinct things, and we have a takeaway from that, which we could then go apply somewhere else. I don't know if anybody wants to jump in and say anything else to that, but that's kind of my 10-second version.
Thanks, Gareth. Anybody else from Group 5 before we move on? Okay, Group 4, we'd love to hear from you.
Well, I think Gareth nailed it, but what he didn't mention was the time constraints and wow. So taking us on this student journey through the choosing our own adventure that we've just been on shows us clearly that we need to have and the importance of key rules and safety use of AI for the students, and that instructions of what we're actually hoping them to provide become very clear. What we learned, I think, is a lot of fact checking is still required, and we didn't really have time as we were in the process, but we managed to do a bit of a read and found that both infographics had significant errors within them from the prompts that we'd given the AI tools. But a takeaway from it is that the tools that are available and having knowledge of these tools is a great outcome of coming to this session today. That's from me. Over to anybody else that would like to jump in from room 4.
No? Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Room 3. Or Group 3.
I'm happy to jump in there for Group 3.
Okay, great.
So just quickly, so one of the pitfalls was of choosing the right starting points. So we started with articles instead of generating reports. You've mentioned that in one of the earlier comments. Then what aspects of the process you anticipate students are struggling? So I think the instructions were all good and very informative, but it was very rushed, and that has been said already. So the time aspect needs to be considered when working with the students. It's already for us was overwhelming, so for them it will be even more overwhelming. Then the most beneficial things are, I think we learned new aspects, which will motivate us also to delve into new tools that you presented here. And also on the overview, I took a screenshot. So I'll elaborate a bit more on those and delve more into the different tools and how we can use these different tools, which we then also can use for our teaching and also work with our students on our learning and sharing our learning with them as well.
Yeah, so, great. Thanks, Elaine. Okay, where am I up to? Group 2?
Yes. So we had a couple of things come out of it. One was we were able to go through our 2 AI tools and to maybe verify that some of those references existed. And the question was raised, you know, is that really good enough? We could say that it exists, but we can't say is that what the student has put, is that actually what's in the article, or is it a relevant article? Just because it exists doesn't mean it's relevant to the topic or so forth. So we, and was that really good enough? Maybe we should be at least reading the abstract and things, and that sort of missed that step. So we were sort of explored that a little bit. The importance of just knowing the platform, so that if you were going to use something, the importance of, you know, doing it as an activity or something that's not assessed before you use it in assessment. And just that assumption, you know, that assumption that, oh, everyone else knows how to do this. I'm old. I didn't have computers at school. We had like stone and a chisel or whatever. And the fact that you think everyone else is all over it, but there's those people that are not, you know, English in their first language, or they new at university, or they're, you know, a whole bunch of things, which may mean other people are struggling too. And yeah, I think it would be really interesting to do this. That's right, it was. But it would be really good to do this as an education session without the time limits and actually explore that through. It would be, you know, I think that'd be really beneficial. And anyone else want to jump in there from room 2?
All right. Well, Lucky Last, thank you for that and your feedback. And Lucky Last, group 1. And I know we're a little bit over time, so if anybody needs to jump out, please feel free to do so.
I wrote something in the chat, which is around, we agreed that the tool, the verification tool, was useful to show the process, but we felt like it's a lot of time, an extra impost on students, so marks would need to be allocated. But also going further, what are we assessing then? So, you know, is AI becoming the focus of the assessment rather than the actual content or skills that you're trying to develop in your subject? So there's some questions to take away, think about.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I mean, as I said in my group, the task that we set for you with the time allocations, you would never do to students because that was kind of the point, you know, let's do this as like a speed dating, let's, you know, kind of push and see where it goes, where we take it. And obviously it was to give you kind of like an idea of the breadth of what is available and what is out there, because for some, we're all at really different places in that journey in terms of learning how to incorporate AI. So it sounds like there's been lots of really good takeaways. So I just want to say in closing that we just wish to thank everybody for their really enthusiastic participation. We had lots of giggles in my group, and I hope that there was the same in others as we kind of found our way through the tools and the logins and all that sort of all the logistics. So given the limited time, we're obviously only able to introduce the potential of the tools, but we hope the session has encouraged reflection on the breadth of AI technologies available and possibly highlighted some tools that you'll be able to use in the future with your students moving forward. So, and again, the workshop is only intended to lay the groundwork for future exploration and prompt consideration and the validation. And yeah, really thinking about like, what is it that I would need students to be able to do and really having those clear objectives? Is it about the content and how we can use AI to support content and find content, or is it about them also that hidden curriculum of building the secondary tools around how to be good researchers and ethical and responsible students with their use of AI? So hopefully some of these tools will help to inform your pedagogy and the planning of your learning activities and the design of assessments. And of course, we at DLT are always here to help support you in that. So thanks very much. We will be sending out all of the resources from today's sessions by the end of the week. So that'll be the Padlets, the AI use declaration doc, the slides, the table of tools, and we also plan to include a very short survey, which will really just kind of help to decide where the appetite is for AI use and tools and planning for the library and hopefully future Teaching Academy PD events. So thanks again and enjoy all your future exploration of all things AI.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks, folks.